Using Sketchbook Pro, we're going to create a line design. Pick the layers, the paper with 6 layers. I like to reduce the page down so I can see where the ends of my paper are at. You're going to go to the paintbrush. You're going to select a color, select the radius, and select the opacity. Opacity means if you can see through the line or not. After you have your radius and your opacity selected, if you want to change the value, the tint or the shade, you can choose the slider, or the bright or dullness of a color. You can select that and change that over in the sliders. Once you have it chosen, you can start drawing your line. If you make a mistake, you can use the undo tool. And then the radius is just a little too thick to get 6 lines across. If you check your check sheet, you need 6 lines. Go ahead and start making your line. The more complicated the line, the more interesting your design is going to be. You only have to draw this line once, so take your time and really get it as unique as you can make this line. Once your line is made, you're going to go to the layer center. You're going to choose the double plus, and that copies that layer. Then you're going to use the 3 dots and use the transform tool. When you're in transform tool, there's some different things. You can free transform, move it, rotate it. Free transform and move are the 2 you'd use. Free transform is a pinch and 2 fingers, and you can move it anywhere you want and make it different sizes. That's a neat look. Or you can use the transform tool and the 4 arrows, and that will just move the line exactly as it is. It'll just slide it over. Then you can say done and go to the layer editor, and then you're going to do the down arrow and merge the 2 lines together, and then the double plus key to copy, 3 dots to transform, the 4 arrows to move and adjust those. Now you're already up to 4 lines. You only have to do 6. I'm going to do more than that because my line's thinner. Again, your design, your choice, just showing you how the tools work to get done quickly. I merged those, and I've sped this up as I continue. I'm keeping the first 4 lines in their own layer for a minute so I can shift them over. And I'm going to shift the middle over. I've inverted that using some of the free transform tools and flipped it to create a little more interesting design. And now I'm going to copy that first layer to get that first layer back. The lines that go off the gray won't be on there, so if you have something in the gray, it'll be gone. Now I'm going to do a new layer, and with the new layer I'm going to pick a new color, different radius. If you check your check sheet, you need to see that it asks for different radiuses when you're creating your design. It's something that people forget. You can change your opacity. And then if you want a straight line, when you start drawing a straight line, oh, it went a little crooked. If you use that wavy line tool next to the paintbrush, there's a line segment, and you can just draw the dotted line till you want it straight and add the straight line. I don't like how the yellow is in front of the red, so I'm going to grab the 3 bars on the right side and move it below the red lines. Now, same process. Copy the yellow line, transform it, and move it. And I've sped this up as it continues to multiply those lines. You don't have to have horizontal and vertical 6 lines. You just have to have 6 lines horizontal or 6 lines vertical. Now I'm in new layer, new color, new thickness. I'm going to start with the shape. I'm going to go to that wavy tool. I'm going to pick a circle. I'm not real happy with how thin I made the radius. I wish I would have made that a little bit thicker. It's hard to see that line. Same applies. I'm going to move that circle up a little bit before I copy it. Then I'm going to copy it and transform it and merge and copy and transform and invert and copy and merge. Okay, then I'm going to select another color. Now, this color I want to fill in my circles. Since I didn't make them a very thick radius, I'm using the new color, but I have to stay in that blue layer because otherwise I'll fill too much. I'm going to flood fill and use the paint pail for that. And now I'm going to go back to the red layer, and I'm going to start adding every other color in that red layer. I'm going to select a different color and flood fill. Now when you flood fill and it takes too long and it fills everywhere, you're either in the wrong layer or you have what I call the back doors open. I'm in the right layer, so I'm going to go and back to the paintbrush, and I'm going to go in and draw a line or paint a line at both ends of that section that I want to fill in. When I have both sections filled in, then I can go to the paint pail and dump in that line. And I'm going to continue filling. So still back doors open. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and get all these things filled in. You can also hide the circle layer and the yellow layer so you don't have to deal with those layers. You would go to your layer editor and put the red X over the eye, and those hide that layer at that time. Now I'm going to go in and finish up filling in. Again, complicating your pattern, repeating shapes, using the tools of Sketchbook Pro to make your line quick. If you don't like that blue, now that you have them filled in, you can try different colors and see what other colors you might want to try in there to make your idea better. Creating a non-objective line design. Okay, I'm going to put those layers back in, check it out, see what else I can do to complicate the pattern. I'm going to put a new idea in with that yellow layer, and I'm going to choose a color and a radius, and I'm going to draw a line, and I'm in a new layer, copy, transform. I inverted it so it looks like they're both pointing towards the middle, and I'm going to merge that and copy and transform, and again continue as you need to complicate that pattern. Merge all that, put those layers, show them, see what it looks like. Using that same green color, because I am only limited to 6 colors and that green color is not showing up very much, I'm going to put another shape on top of the circles. So I'm going to get a new layer, and I'm going to go to the wavy line tool and select a square. Or you could draw any shape. You could draw a trapezoid or octagon or whatever using the segment tool. I'm going to make the radius a little thicker, and then I'm going to go to my layers, copy layers, free transform, get another one, merge, copy, transform, invert, and merge. Now I have that done. I'm going to go to the bullseye tool, that's the eyedropper, and suck up some of the yellow color I use because I don't want to get in too many colors. And I'm going to flood fill inside of that green. Again, the green, when you flood fill, you have to be in that layer, even though it's a different color. But when you're drawing your lines, you should have a different layer for each different idea. When you're filling in, though, you need to stay in that layer. Okay, I'm checking my layers out, and I'm going to go ahead and merge these squares with the circles because I feel that they look pretty good, and I need another layer. Alright, so I'm going to put this new layer at the bottom. It's in the back. We want to do the background color last. You're going to draw and then fill last. Don't try and do it first because it just causes a whole bunch of issues. Do the background layer last and decide if you like it or not. If not, again, this is a time you can change it without too much emphasis. If it's not in the back, it's going to hide a lot of your idea, a lot of your design. So always put it at the bottom. Okay, if you're pretty satisfied with your idea or it's time to go, you're going to go ahead and make a new layer. This is where I merge a couple because I'm out of layers, so I'm going to merge the square with the circle and add a new layer. And this is the top layer. This layer won't be handed in. It's just a cover sheet. And you're going to type in your last name, and this is our line design. So you're going to put line design. You might want to put 7th grade or period number in there so that we know which class it belongs to. I can 2-finger pinch to transform it and get it larger. And then it's not in a contrasting color, so I'm going to go to my layer editors when I say done, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to flood fill that behind there with a contrasting color. So I'm going to take contrasting color and flood fill. When I'm done flood filling and my name showing with the line design and possibly period number, then I'm going to go to the 4 squares in the left corner. That's your gallery, and say save. And once you're in the gallery and say save, you want to bring up a new sheet of paper so that the person who works after you on the art iPads is not messing with your idea. Okay? If you need to work on it, you can highlight it in blue, say edit, and it'll load it. And to get your name off of it, you just go to the layer editor and hide that layer by covering up the eye. And now I'm going to save it, and you should say save unless you've made some changes you didn't want, and then new sheet of paper for the next person. Enjoy!